Hello, everyone, and welcome to another weekly update from Gandalf. So, let's take a look at the action from last week and what we're looking at for the week ahead. So, as usual, let's take a look at the stock indices as they've just opened up for trading for this week. So, let's take a look at ES here. Interesting week. So, the first part of the week. And these are the last five kind of candles here from last week. We had a pretty significant downward movement in ES, probably one of the first in quite a while, actually, three consecutive red days in a row. I think last week what we flagged as, and this is why it's important to flag where your areas of support are, particularly on the daily time frame. So this is where we broke out. We had a gap, and we went ahead, and that is a gap above a resistance that goes and never closes is an extremely strong gap. So that is a gap where we are looking at pretty closely. And that is pretty strong support. So this kind of 4,000 area, we identified as strong support. We knew that the 50-day moving average, ES has not strayed far from the 50-day moving average ever since it kind of crossed above it. It's kind of been pinned to that area. Even when anytime we go a little bit below, we immediately reverse, and it happened once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and again this was where the 50-day moving average was. It's also the first Fibonacci level of this impulse wave, so we knew 4,000 area was strong support, and I kind of warned some folks in the Simmer Stops group that this is an area of support, so it's likely we're going to see some kind of reaction. But I think even I was surprised with how hard and fast we bounced. We essentially reversed off that level, and bounced right back up to 70% of the entire impulse wave. So really volatile week. If you managed to catch either of those moves, congratulations. I mean, those are some fantastic trades. So as per usual, we close the week right at the decision point here. So the question for this week is this going to be a lower high? Are we developing a lower high here, and then we go down and we actually break this support? We break below, we fill the gap, and we head below this kind of breakout area. Are we building a lower high here, or are we going to squeeze some shorts? And something I kind of warned folks that tend to, that may get a little bit over bearish when they see something like that is to stop and think about it for a second. I mean, this entire run up has been a bear trap after bear trap after bear trap. So who's to say that this is not again another bear trap? And this area that looks like a good short, in all honesty, we've got a pretty decent first bearish impulse wave. So this looks like a potential reversal area. I mean, it really does. If you look at this entire move, we're looking for potential reversals to try and catch a movement to some more longer term supports. And this is a potential area, but, and we created this wedge, so we're kind of retesting that wedge area as well here. So look, I think there are a number of options that we could face here. So here we build a lower high here. We head right back down to support, which is this kind of 50-day moving average rising trend line. We build a range here, and then if we head back down here, I think we're done. We head back down lower to lower prices. The second thing we could do is we can kind of spend the futures and maybe some of the day ranging here, kind of consolidating below this resistance, maybe get a little bit downward movement that gets bought up pretty quickly, something like that. We hang out here, and then we squeeze the shorts that got in here, the shorts that came in here again. We squeeze them, we make some new all-time highs, and we head to the top of this resistant trend line again around 43.50 area. So I could see either of those options, and the only thing you can do here if you're trading it is play risk reward. So if you want to take the bearish side, here is a good place to get in a light position size, and you take a stop if we get anywhere near this all-time high. So you can pull some Fibonacci levels, Um, and this is how you trade. Look, you make a decision. You want to go bearish. This strong, it's a 618 retracement. It's a golden pocket. Um, I think when you're invalidated if you break this area here, this peak and candle. If we're getting above there, we're definitely squeezing some shorts. So 22.15, you get out of any short position. So you're risking less than 1% to potentially make 7%. So this is what you do as a trader. You analyze risk and what the potential reward is, and there is a decent risk reward going short here. Again, I would go low position sizing because bears have been pretty screwed at any time these high risk reward setups came up. There was another fairly high risk reward setup around here, I remember, in ES. The same setup happened here where we built a lower high, and bears took some profits there, but immediately look at that V reverse as soon as we hit back support, right? So you've got to be careful here. So don't go over bearish. I think this is, though, a good risk reward setup to try a bear trade. Don't risk more than a few percent of your capital if you get it wrong. So that's my word of warning here. So potential bearish setup for the week, but just looking at how strong we bounced off this level, just be wary of some short squeezes down the line as well. Let's take a look at NQ here. So NQ also bounced, but NQ's again is through this entire run up, from this impulse wave, NQ has been a lot more bearish than ES. So again, the downward movement that we got in ES is amplified in NQ. We got this nice little ABC wave. We found some support on this trend line, and then we kind of bounced. With NQ, what we don't want to see is this trend line being tested again. If we head back up to this trend line is going to get screwed up. It's gonna break up higher, guaranteed. So we want to build, a lower high here again, probably around this area. Just wicked the 618. There's some previous levels of resistance here as well. And if you're a bear, we want to get back down to support. If we get back down to support, that support line is going to get screwed up. So, and we head back down to the 200-day moving average, and I've kind of maintained that this 200-day moving average is going to get tested at some point in NQ, and it could be this time. Obviously, if we're going the route of squeezing some shorts, it's not going to be this time. So, again, just be cautious. If you're going to take some bearish trades, do not blow too much of your capital just in case you get it wrong and the bears get screwed again. But like I said, I think we ended the week with potential high risk reward bear setups in both ES and NQ. So you can, depending on if you want to take it via options, have a look at where we're at tomorrow. You could take a future short tonight, but just stay safe. In terms of my positioning, if I was to go short, really it'd be to hedge my long-term portfolio, which I'm still heavily long. And I actually bought some stocks on these dips. I did buy a couple of tech stocks. I bought a couple of stocks in the S&P 500 as well. So I'm starting to pick up some stocks. I wasted this dip, didn't buy anything really. So when we get dips like this, I am picking up some things. So just to when I show you some bearish setups, I'm by no means long-term bearish. I just think that there is pullback potential to some lower prices and some better opportunities. So that's my view on the indices. I think potential bear trades, but be extremely cautious and look out for potential short squeezes. And if that happens, ES likely hits all-time highs. NQ goes higher towards some resistances, potentially around 900. I think there's some prices up there that we could test. Okay, so that's the indices. Let's take a look at our crypto market. So, in all honesty, I have been very cautious on stocks and indices and, just riding what I'm owning and I'm just not being too aggressive up here. However, with crypto, I've been actively trading this way more, and actually, my analysis on crypto has been way more on point. Um, and I've got some things right here. So one of the things that I predicted was this divergence pattern. I figured the high that we make here on this kind of wave would be the top, and we would head back right back down to support. So I sold some Bitcoin here, sold some alts up here as well, and we got this nice ABC kind of structure appear here. So this is what I think is a daily correction in Bitcoin. So we've got an impulse wave here. We've got our what I call a pullback, and usually pullbacks retrace a couple of Fibonacci levels. So in this case, we have pullback exactly two Fibonacci levels, which is the exact level that I look for in a pullback trade. We've got an ABC structure. I think, the 200-day moving average has caught up with price. This is the 200-day. So we could start bottoming around here, maybe maybe step a little bit lower, 42K, let the 200-day catch up again. But I think this green zone I've marked ever since we hit this 65K, 64K. I've highlighted the lower 40Ks as an area that we need to go deep into Bitcoin again, and that's what I did. I did just earlier today. I bought more Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that I sold up here, I've bought back here at a nice cheap price, and made some money just selling and buying lower. So I think this is a great. If you haven't owned any Bitcoin, this is your opportunity to ride this freight train. I think ignore all the noise, ignore Elon Musk. This is a breakout. We've got a pullback, and this is going to head higher. So it's not going to go straight to the moon like that. We're in a range. We're still in a range. So if you missed this, we might head back up here, head back down again, consolidate, and then head higher, right? So there might be another dip to buy if you're not sure about buying here. But I bought in. I'm pretty comfortable with this price. I don't think there's so much demand in Bitcoin here. I think this price is extremely supportive. So it's great. When I got here, I was looking for an ABC structure, and it's great when things happen as you expect them to happen, and you get the prices that you want. So a great opportunity to own some Bitcoin. Ethereum, so what I do think is going to happen is I think this is the start of a next impulse wave in crypto. And impulse waves in crypto happen in stages. The first stage is Bitcoin takes the charge. And usually all the money piles back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes the first big wave higher. And what that usually means is Bitcoin dominates versus other alts. And you'll see ETH and all the other major alts kind of relatively drop in value versus Bitcoin. Down the line, as this new impulse wave kind of matures, you'll start to see alts make a return. So initially, all I'm buying is Bitcoin. I'm not touching any alts right now, other than the ones that I own for the long term, like HBAR and Solana and Atom. I'm not touching these alts, and I think that Bitcoin dominance at these levels is at extreme levels, and I think we're going to get a pretty sharp V reverse in Bitcoin dominance. So watch your back with altcoins. If that happens, you're going to see, I think what will happen is Bitcoin is going to surge. It's going to make a surging move higher, back up to high 50s, something like that. And I think you'll see a lot of the alts come down. You're actually seeing that underperformance in some of the alts start to emerge here. We kind of built this lower high in Ethereum, kind of broke that support as well. So, we could see some lower prices in Ethereum as well. I hope so, because if we do, I'll buy in. I'm not buying up here again. If we get some prices back to supports, anything under 3,000, I think I'll pick up some more Ethereum. But right now, just focused on Bitcoin. I think we're at some nice price levels. Don't listen to the bears. Anyone saying we're going to break this support, we're going to head down to 30K, 20K, they don't know what's happening here, and I would ignore them. Anything 40 to 45K, I think if you want to buy some Bitcoin, I think there's some great prices there. So that's it. Last week we did a sector analysis, and I think some of that analysis is still working out. Like the cyclicals, look at we had a volatile week, barely saw it in financials, barely saw it in materials, barely saw it in energy. But when you look at technology, all the action, all the volatility is in technology. So that market behavior is still occurring. So keep looking at these sectors. The cyclicals are still outperforming. Another stock I have never owned, obviously I wish I had, is Tesla. I am looking at this 470 area, and hoping we get an opportunity to buy some here. That could be some good support for Tesla for another bounce up to the top of this range. But I do expect this support to break down, especially as we've got so close to it. And if we do break that support, I think 460, 470 is on the cards. So here's hoping. Other than that, that's what I'm looking at for this week. Back in bull mode in Bitcoin. Very cautious still on the indices, potential bear setups, but don't get too bearish. And that's it. So again, as I always say, I take requests. So if you have any stocks and if there's any area of the market that you want me to look at, I will take a look next week. So just post it in the comments in the YouTube or in the Simba Stocks chat, and I'm happy to go through anything you guys want me to. So that's it for this week. Have a safe trading week. Thanks a lot. Bye.